Hello and welcome to Rolling with Two. I'm Will, and with me as always is the one who brings us together today,
Sarah.
And we're doing a two-player perspective and accessibility for The Princess Bride adventure book game. Sarah, tell us a bit about this game.
All right. In this cooperative game that spans 6 chapters, players work together to complete challenges by moving the main characters of the movie and discarding story cards from their hands to meet specific objectives. If all challenges are completed before the bad conditions are met, the players win. All right, Will, does this game change for 2 players?
So for two-player players, it does not change. In fact, even when it comes to like a bot, there are plot cards that are kind of the AI of the game.
Yeah.
That's as much of a bot as you're going to get because they'll move parts around in spots where you don't want them.
That's true.
But that's about it. I wouldn't really call it a bot per se as much as the game's AI.
Yeah, and it's not specific to 2 players.
It's on all player games.
Yeah. All right, so issues for the 2-player experience. Because you only have 2 players, you have fewer cards in your hands, and one of the mechanisms is that you can trade cards with other players so that you can organize the cards to be in the right order to meet the challenges. And with 2 players, well, that's fewer people than if you were playing a higher player count. So some things get really difficult that I don't think would exist in a higher player count.
Yeah, there is like chapter 2 specifically has a lot of random elements going on. And one of the ways to move the chapter along is to move the boat. And the boat requires specific symbols. You need the rat symbol, which I think is like adventure. You need the cross swords, you need the ship, but you need them at specific times.
In a specific order.
In a specific order. However, I'm looking at max 6 cards in hand.
Yeah.
And Sarah's looking at 6 cards in hand, and if those symbols aren't there
at all,
then you have to overpay by paying like 3 cards out of your hand.
I think so, yeah.
And that's just, then you're really shortchanging yourself. And I honestly, the caveat is, we didn't win the game because we never got past chapter 2. We just got fed up with chapter 2 and just kept moving on as if we had won.
Yeah, because
the rest of the game was easy.
The rest of the game was easy. Chapter 2 was not very well designed. Maybe it works really well at a higher player count. But at the 2-player count, we could not get past it. But we wanted to experience the rest of the game. So we moved past it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for what it does well to 2-player experience, nothing is very memorable. So
it doesn't?
It doesn't really have anything great. I mean, like I said, the card thing is the only thing really bad, but there's nothing that really stands out that, ooh, this is really good at a 2-player count.
Yeah. It just is.
It just is. So, accessibility. Any challenges? Honestly, none.
That's actually where it does well because it has miniatures. You don't like the quality of the miniatures.
Yeah.
But the miniatures do make it easy to tell the pawns apart. All the other cardboard pieces are uniquely shaped.
And have unique symbols.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and everything's open information. So even if somebody had an issue with something, you can get help because it's also a cooperative game. So you're supposed to be working together anyway.
Yeah. Cards are pretty simple, so easy to see.
Yeah.
Accessibility-wise, it does a very good job.
Yes, so that is very good, and it is also a simpler co-op, so that this is not going to be overwhelming cognitively, except that 2nd chapter. But that's just a lot of moving parts that just really conflict with each other.
Yeah.
So yes, accessibility-wise, on like a lot of fronts, this does a really good job. So conclusion.
2 players, would you recommend?
I personally, not really, like maybe, but not really. I think the dynamics could be better at a higher player count.
For me, I would recommend it with the caveat that you're teaching a younger player.
Yeah.
That's the 2-player experience that I see this is really for. Anything else, no.
Yeah.
No, just it's not an experience that will recommend itself
Yes.
to a 2-player.
Exactly.
Accessibility.
Yes, this does really good job. It was very, very smart graphic design.
Yes, I was actually impressed that we had miniatures. So that's something. And it has a book that's boards, which has its issues.
Yeah.
But you can still read everything. Everything's clear.
Everything's
so
clear.
Accessibility-wise,
Actually,
thumbs up.
that would probably be the only sort of accessibility issue. The book doesn't always lay flat, so that could be a slight issue. But that's it.
All right.
Yep.
Well, that would do it for us. And Sarah, did Wesley actually say to Blaive?
I really don't know. To this day, I really don't know.
But it could.
He could have.
Could. And why would you ever roll with just one when you can be rolling with two? And remember, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach out to us on the various social media platforms at
Rolling with Two, that's TWO. We are on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And on YouTube, please like and subscribe.
And if you have time, check out the other content Nanaman has found for you, because remember, he's rolling with you.